MXTV is proudly brought to you by Swan Insurance, protecting motorcyclists since 1956. And Motul, quality oils for more than 150 years.
Hello everyone, I'm Brendan Bell and welcome to MXTV. Unfortunately, Lee couldn't make it this week. He's got some BCP commitments, but as they say, the show must go on. And tonight we've got some ripper segments. We interview world long distance jumping champion Robbie Maddison. Take a closer look at what it's like to be a racing family at the Australian Junior Motocross Championships. We get the inside word on Showtime FMX director Gary Reid. We take another look at the Hattah Desert race, and I review the Yamaha WR 450. Well, we've got a lot to get through, so first up we have a look at the Australian Junior Motocross Championships, where we followed the Fogarty family around to see what it was like to be a race family for a day.
Husband and I, Wayne and I, spoke about getting them into racing when they were quite young, and we saw another family that had gone through the racing and we just didn't know whether we were ready for it, so we just held off.
And then probably when they were around 10, 11, we went and watched a few friends that raced motocross and they got pretty keen. So we went home and sort of trained a little bit for a year or so, and then we come back and then we started.
Yes, come on, no mistakes. We started racing about 4 years ago now. After Black Saturday fires, we decided we'd give the kids whatever we could. We just want to give the kids the best opportunity and give it a go.
Just remember, deep breathing before the start, right? Big breaths.
Dad was a racer and he got me involved in motocross.
I did all this with my dad and my brother when I was a kid. My dad was a single parent, and from the ages of about 12 to 16, we done pretty much exactly the same thing.
How are you today?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Less stressed today?
A bit less stressed today, yeah.
Oh,
enough though, after 2 crashes. Actually went over that drop-off over the back and cartwheeled down the hill. Have you thought about your gate pick? Where you want to start from this time? Or?
Middle.
Still round the box. Get up near the gate, mate. Get ready to get out there.
I just enjoy riding my bike by myself. It's good fun. Try to test yourselves with everyone else and see who comes out on top.
Actually, you got the whole shot after all that.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's in front of
Here we go. A bit of an adrenaline rush for everyone.
Oh, yes. Third.
Yes.
Come on, mate. Hang in there. All right, mate. Good luck, all right? Start focusing on that first corner, all right? You can do it. All right, buddy. Yeah, 4. Come on, mate. Go. Go.
Nice.
We'll go down there.
Most weekends, well, I try and pack as much food as I can and lots of healthy stuff, but then I throw in the lollies for me, but they get eaten by the kids. I have my own stash, but it goes.
How's your day been?
We went out today, mate.
Oh, you did,
All
yeah.
over, yeah.
Out.
Didn't make it through, mate.
The kids do all their own packing their bags to make sure they've got everything. That's their responsibility to. When they started out, when Morgan started out, we made a man on the ground, so they could see, visualise what they needed to take, and now it's just second nature for them, to both of them, to get their little man in the bag. Come on, Chase. Oh, that was a little mistake.
I suppose being a mechanic, I like having hands-on, so even though you don't like to have to work on the bikes, it sort of gets you fired up. You've got to do whatever you've got to do. It's sort of an adrenaline rush. There's always pressure on you. I'm just trying as hard as I can to get all the bikes ready and right, and then all the boys have to do is just ride them and do what they do.
Once the racing's over, we kind of just relax and wash up and get everything sorted for the next day. Especially here at Appin, it's pretty flat out.
I love the kids just running around. Hi, Simone. Everyone says hi, and they know who you are. And half the time I don't know what parents with what child, and half the time I've got to ask, what number's your child? Oh, you're with that one. Okay. They just hang out together, and like half the kids, they'll be friends for life. Boy, well done.
It's good to be with your family. Love watching my brother ride. He's doing quite well lately.
You feeling better now? No?
That was really good.
Quite good?
Yeah.
We just love the motorbike sort of thing, the people, all the kids, you know, all the other riders become friends, and it's a social thing, getting the bikes going and ready, and then, you know, you get ups and downs of having a win and then having a lose or whatever.
I think it's awesome. If it wasn't for them, none of this would have happened. So, yeah, I'm really thankful that they bring us here all the time and support us.
Every weekend we're together as a family, the four of us, Simone and the two boys. We sort of hang around with a lot of other parents in the same boat. We spend family time every weekend. We're all doing something together, and you're travelling. It's just a great thing. Yeah, we love it. It's in our blood, I think.
He's a four-time Supercross champion.
F1 Moto is Australia's leading online retailer for performance and rebuild products. We have most aftermarket brands available for parts and accessories. Some of the performance products available for junior and senior dirt bikes are from VHM, HGS Exhausts, Nihilo Performance Products, Talon Wheels, RHK Parts and Accessories, available from f1moto.com.au or our new showroom at Appin, New South Wales. MXTV is proudly supported by KTM, Alpine Stars, Kawasaki and Kincro.
So, Tuffy, you've been a part of Hattah Desert race for many years now. What keeps bringing you back?
Oh, I have, mate. I first came to Hattah, I think it was in 2002, at the request of one of the committee, and back then it was an established event, but it didn't quite have the notoriety of a lot of the bigger events, and from the very first time I came here, I've been hooked. It's a different beast to any other race. It's a true cross-country. It's a multi-lap event, a circuit, so not only is the track tough, it's also a mental challenge because you have to come past the finish line and keep going, which messes with a lot of people. But the sand, the atmosphere, the committee do a fantastic job. This race really is quite special. It's an incredible atmosphere from the get-go on Friday night all the way to the finish line on Sunday, and yeah, it's one of my favourites.
Hi, it's Brian here from Hands On Kawasaki. I'm here to tell you a few things that we've done to the boys' Kawasaki's for the Hattah Desert Enduro. Firstly, we started with Brendan's KX250F, put that up on the bench, and we fitted a quality RK chain, much stronger than the original fitment. We changed the gearing on the bike. We put a 14-tooth front JT sprocket, and then we married up a 46-tooth rear JT sprocket, just to give the bike some longer legs or greater top speed for such a high-speed event as Hattah. To keep the bike tracking well and handling good for him, we fitted up a set of Pirelli mid-softs, the 32s, front and rear, We finished it off with a set of Ariati grips, because you'll be hanging onto the thing all day long, and the grips make a big difference in comfort. Some of the extra things that were on the bike just to make life a bit easier in such a high-speed long race as Hattah. The bike had a top-line gripper seat cover fitted to it. We also had the X-Trig adjustable triple clamp and the trick and long-lasting Raptor foot pegs. And that's pretty much all we did to Brendan's 250. With Jamie's bike, Jamie entered on a completely stock standard Kawasaki KX 450. We changed the front sprocket. We went up a tooth on that and fitted a JT 14 tooth front sprocket. We also fitted a arcade chain just to put up with the long distance and high speed. Once again, it got the Pirelli mid-soft 32s front and rear. Ringmaster made the bike look magnificent with one of their trick sticker kits. That's pretty much how Jamie rolled for the whole event.
So how'd you find the track, Paul? Everyone says it gets pretty brutal out there.
It certainly was brutal. I think, well, you see the off-roaders and the motocross guys all coming together at the same time, and I think the motocross guys probably have a pretty good opportunity out there to strut their stuff with the sand whoops and just the outright speed and things like that. It's a very, very different event, and I just feel pretty happy to have finished it, to be honest.
Welcome back to MXTV, thanks to Swan Insurance. Up next, we sit down with Showtime FMX owner Gary Reid and find out how he started way back in 2000 to where he is today, running shows at Movie World.
It all started in about early 1999. I'd just come back from water skiing at SeaWorld and a lot of fun parks around the world, just returned from America and wanted to base myself more in Australia. And a good friend of mine was the ringmaster at the Royal Canberra Show, and we got talking one afternoon and he said, "Oh, you got any entertainment ideas?" I thought about it, and I was riding sort of cross paths with Ben Jones and Danny Ham and Joel Bouchin a little bit. So I thought, what if we did a water ski themed show but on dirt bikes? We had a clown act, and the clown kept coming out back and annoying people and changing bikes, and then ended up being the star of the show. And by the second day, we'd already had Royal Brisbane show booked. They loved the show, but we used dirt at Canberra, and they said we can't have dirt. So I kind of, I guess being 23, told a little white lie and told them that we'd already started building a steel set of ramps. They weren't ready for the Canberra show. We only just missed out. And the one thing I had to do Sunday night when we finished at the Canberra show, rang a mate that could weld, and before we demolished the dirt, we took a template and made the first fully portable set of freestyle ramps. I pretty much tried to model our whole team from the start off Craig Dack's CDR team. It was, to me, the most professional team throughout Australia. And I always just, thought the more professional you can be, that's what's going to sort of be the key. So I think from the very onset, we were a show company, not just a freestyle motocross company. So we were always concerned about the crowd, the flow of the show, how the show runs, how the show works, how the guys present themselves during the show. I've taken everything I've learnt from my water ski career, I guess, and put it over into the early days of Showtime. 2010, it all sort of changed for me. I lost my best friend to cancer, and 3 weeks later we had our house on the market, and one of the things in the back of my mind was me and my friend always talked about getting our show into a fun park, and he was with me since day one of our team. So the day after his funeral, I just made the decision, I'm done, I'm out. So we came to the Gold Coast and worked on getting a full-time fun park show at Movie World. We've got 3 full-time team members on the travelling show, and they get 2 bikes each. So there's 6 bikes. We've got 2 display bikes, 1 spare bike. So there's nearly 10 bikes just with the away team. Our Movie World bikes, everyone gets 1 bike, and we've got 7 there, and then a display bike, so there's 8 bikes there. The boys do general oil changes and general maintenance at Movie World for the Movie World bikes, and then we've just started building up a sort of bit of a collection. It's fun, all our guys borrow the bikes, they get out and ride, but we always seem to have one project bike, a custom. We've got a few of our riders that have got their L's at the moment, so we decided to team with Honda, and they were good enough to supply us a CB400, and we're currently turning that into a full-on cafe racer style bike, but it'll be for learners. So for our guys in the team that don't have their licence, we can encourage those guys to get their licence. I don't really spend probably the time I should looking back on what I've done, and what I've been lucky enough to be involved in. And I guess, my prized possession is walking in here every day and knowing that that's something I can't show him and I can't talk about it with him anymore, but we spoke about it so much, planning it. I think that's why I've worked so hard with my team to get it to this stage. So when I walk out at 9 o'clock some nights and turn the lights off and look around and walk into the diner and get a drink for the trip home out of the fridge and glance through into where the cars are, I can't help but smile and, think that, well, we got there through hard work and a lot more to go yet.
With us now is FMX and distance jumping champion. Everybody knows he's a legend of the sport. Of course, it's our own Robbie Maddison. Welcome to MXTV again, mate.
Thanks, mate. Good to be back on the air.
How'd you get into the freestyle scene?
The freestyle scene really kind of just lit a candle in me when, during my apprenticeship, I'd raced up until 16, and the dream of following Chad and going to Europe and being a racer, I was like really significantly smaller than the rest of the guys I was competing against, and I was a late bloomer. I think it really messed with how fast I was on the track. In the 80cc class I'd dominate, but in the 125 class I was kind of really struggling to get the podium, so I didn't really get noticed at a young age and didn't get the, when you went to senior there was really no offers, so I went and did an apprenticeship. And it was just advice from my dad, and it was great advice. I learnt so many keys about life and, putting in the hard work. And, usually when it's tough, it's not time to quit. It's time to kind of go a bit deeper and push a bit harder. And I think that mentality has definitely paid off when it's come to riding bikes.
Can you explain to me one of your quotes? I believe that sometimes in life you have to take risks to get wiser.
Through life itself, I think you can get lost on the direction you're going, and I think for me personally, there's always this goal of being a star on the bike and all this kind of stuff, but really once you get there, you're still looking and you feel kind of hollow inside. And I think taking those risks and trying to get that drive for materialistic things, I think after taking the risks and then getting those things, and then to look back, it was never about that anyway, and I think the wisdom came is the happiness is when I was really able to kind of just let go of the drive to kind of, and just get back to basics, and I think having a family and all that definitely has helped. I mean, for me, all these risks that I've taken has made me kind of look back and appreciate the smaller things. There was a part inside of me that felt comfortable doing these bigger jumps. I'd do the ramps, no problem. I was having a lot of fun, but there was a drive inside of me that just wanted to jump big jumps. I was hitting these ramps, and it was so cool to hit it, but I was we're in second gear. I've got 4 others to hit, so I wanted to hit something 5th gear pinned and feel what that felt like. And eventually, Krusty Demons were having a big event, and Seth Enslow was lined up to do the world record jump, and weeks before he broke his wrist and was unable to ride. And word on the street was looking for someone to do the record, and I was like, this is my calling, this is what I'm about. So I called the guys at Krusty's and kind of pleaded with them the case, and I had no footage, I have no pictures to prove that I could do what I was claiming I could do, but I just knew that I had it in me. And I think very first jump I went 220 feet. From there we stretched the ramp right back, and I realised in myself I know I can go so much further, and then that was just motivation then to kind of go out and keep pushing it, and I've been able to follow my dream and my passion and living from it, and that's probably the coolest thing to do is to make your job something that you're passionate about.
(2014) Carrier Toy Hauler 360, a caravan designed for the adrenaline junkie. Thrill seeker, the wanderer, the ones who are not bound to your average getaway, but bound for adventure. Bring your favourite toys along and go on that trip you've always wanted. Carrier toy haulers are available from the following dealerships: MXTV is proudly supported by Suzuki, Bell Helmets, Yamaha, and Milwaukee. New on the market for 2014 is the MX wheel sets that have now been added to the ever-expanding range of States MX. The States MX wheel sets are fitted with true aircraft-quality 70/50 T6 alloy rims, which go through a 3-stage heat treatment to provide the highest available strength and durability. They're structurally 15% stronger than other regular rims, yet remain the same weight. The V-curve profile helps reduce mud build-up. Hubs are forged and CNC machined to precision specifications. The setter tube is made from steel for strength and longer bearing life. They come fitted with heavy-duty stainless steel spokes and colour-coded 70 to 75 T6 alloy nipples, all at no extra cost. And talking about no extra cost, also additional are both sprocket bolts and disc bolts, along with a free spoke spanner. Now that's value added. The all-new States MX wheel sets come packed and ready for your machine right now. Priced at $899 per set and available in 21-inch front and 19-inch rear for almost all late-model motocross machines, and also available with the same high quality is the Enduro wheel sets in 21-inch front and 18-inch rear. States MX wheel sets not only bling your bike, but also make it stronger. For more information on the range of States MX products, visit www.linkint.com.au/StatesMX.
Welcome back to MXTV, thanks to Modal. This week's bike review, I take this little beauty, the WR450F, for a ride in the bush. Let's see if I can't hit a tree. Today we're going to have a look at the 2012 Yamaha WR450F. Now what's changed for 2015? Yamaha tell me absolutely nothing, bold new graphics, that's it. Now in actual fact, nothing has changed on this bike since 2012 when they redesigned it. Now why would you? The thing's been fantastic for the last 3 years anyway. They started off with a bilateral aluminium frame designed from the YZ250F. Now it's been changed a little bit for enduro specs, but this really does give the bike some sensational handling in the tight stuff in Australian terrain, especially this single sort of bush that we get in Australia. It really does work well with that. Now some of the other things that they've changed on the WR450 is front and rear suspension twin chamber from the YZ motocross range. This really does give this suspension a good beef up. A lot of memories come back from 2012, and that was how well this bike feels for somebody like me. You know, I know I'm a little bit shorter. It certainly feels like it's a 250 when you're sitting on it. You know, the ergos for me are perfect. The engine is powerful enough if you really open it up, but it's real torquey down low, so it will get you out of spots. When I did hit some big logs or any big bumps, it really soaked them up well, and certainly jumping when you come down off a jump, it soaked it up very, very well. The exhaust on this bike, it's got a great note to it, very good for riding in the bush. It's not too loud, but in saying that, it certainly is big enough for the bike to breathe. It's got nice wide foot pegs. I really like that. Keeps you planted for when you're sort of going through a bit of the single track and it gets a little bit tricky. Now one of the things that Yamaha do have with this bike is called a power tuner. And what it does is it allows you to tune the bike to however you want it to be. If you want it to be top heavy and you want it to over rev, you can do that. If you want it to be really fast and really punchy, you can do that. Now I did use a power tuner in 2012 at the launch. It's very easy to use, it's quite small, it's robust, it's easy to put in your backpack, it's very easy to pull it out, put it into the bike, tune the bike so you might want to tame it down a little bit so you get a little bit more traction through the slippery stuff. It's a great accessory that Yamaha have, and I think it's a great investment if you want to get your bike adjusted to your style of riding. Now after saying all of that, who's this bike suited for? It does everything very well in the bush, so really from probably intermediate to an advanced rider, this bike is absolutely fantastic. For a beginner, what 450 does a beginner suit? I don't think there's too many out there at all, but this one, if you were going to get a 450 and a beginner, this is not a bad option to look at. So there you go, the 2015 Yamaha WR450F. Now it hasn't changed a lot since 2012 as we said, but why would you? It's the highest selling enduro bike for 2014. So if you're in the market for a 450, head down to your local Yamaha dealer and check it out. It's worth having a look.
For all your motorcycle insurance needs, visit swanmotorcycle.com.au.
Well, I made it back safely. The WR450 hasn't changed much. but as they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and that's the case with this little baby. It's almost time to go, but before we do, don't forget to log on to the MXTV Facebook page for that great Milwaukee prize pack, and check us out on the MXTV Instagram page, MXTV Show. Now we'll see you next week, but until then, I'm by myself. Oh, I got this. Hold it on! WR, flash it!
Testing, 1, 2.
And we've got some ripper shows.
Oh, I've stuffed up.
Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be clipped out.
Hey, Morgan, who's that? You know, elbow. What? Who's that? And they'll go, oh, really, Mum?
Welcome back to MXTV, thanks to Modal. Well, up next, bloody up next, idiot. Ready? One more time.
MXTV is proudly brought to you by Swan Insurance, protecting motorcyclists since 1956. And Motul, quality oils for more than 150 years.